These are the kind of bombs they dropped, so they're called cluster bombs. This map here shows all of the bombing locations in Laos. We've arrived at the National Museum of Laos, probably been one of the worst national museums I've ever been in. We've arrived here at the Tipsy Elephant, floor 10. Beth will show you the view right now because it looks absolutely stunning. That is one good but expensive beer Lao. Good morning and welcome back to the vlogs, where today we're going to be checking out two of the biggest museums here in Vientiane. It is the Cope Visitor Centre Museum and the Lao National Museum. So we're starting off with the Cope one, which will be all to do with how people are now coping with unexploded ordnance, which is basically bombs that have not gone off since the wars, and people may have stepped on them not knowing that they were there and maybe been harmed from them. So it's how they are coping with it now. And then the second museum is the Lao National Museum, which I'm hoping is going to be really interesting, telling us more about Lao itself and the religion that they hold here. We haven't really yet been to an interesting museum, in my opinion, so I'm hoping that this first one, the Cope Visitor Centre, where we're heading off to now, will be a good one. So we have arrived at the Cope Visitor Centre. It's a nice little cafe actually next to it, so maybe if that's open up later we can get a drink or something. But we'll head on inside now. It's got obviously some bombs there on that right hand side and something maybe made of bombs. Yeah, 500 kilograms of unexploded ordnance that's made from that statue, so that's pretty cool. But let's go inside now and see whether we can learn some interesting stuff. This map here shows all of the bombing locations in Laos. Apparently there's 580,000 missions, which is mad. So you can see it all in red there. And these are the kind of bombs they dropped. So they're called cluster bombs. So you can see the main bomb there, which are basically split open into these orange-shaped balls here, of which they hit the ground and then explode. However, about 30% of them don't actually explode, so they think there's about 80 million, is it? 80 million? Yeah, 80 million unexploded oranges, basically. It's actually really interesting reading about all of these different stories on how people have been affected by the unexploded ordnance. For example, this guy here, he actually went out fishing just for the day with his two children, and then decided to go and try and pick up a bomb and throw it in the water. And now he has lost both arms and an eye, which is crazy. Thankfully, Cope have gone and helped him out by providing him now with some prosthetics. These are lots of other prosthetics which have been made to help with certain tasks. For example, this rocker one here is basically for if you've got weak muscles, you can put your arm on here, rock down and pick up a spoon or a fork. So it's really interesting just learning about all the different prosthetics that they have made to help different people with different problems. This here is basically an example of a house in Laos, and where they have used unexploded ordnance to basically use stuff in their daily life. So for example, the kettles and the pans, they're made out of unexploded ordnance. You've got this here, which is filled with water to stop any ants from reaching the meats. So that's quite a smart idea. A spoon here, which has been made from unexploded ordnance. A bowl, which has been made from a cluster bomb case. So it's crazy, really, just looking around, seeing how they've managed to use all of these bombs to make things for their daily life. Even looking out here and stuff, this is what it looks like. So it's basically a kid, but could just easily pick up one of these unexploded bombs and just start playing catch with another kid, and then it just goes off. It's just scary to think that people are living around this. So we've just finished at the Cope Visitor Centre, and I definitely recommend coming to here. It's really interesting learning about all the unexploded ordnance and how they deal with it now. But we're now going to be heading over to the Vientiane Centre, where hopefully we can go and get some lunch and a drink and maybe some deodorant too, because that is what we'll be looking for everywhere. So this will probably be the best place to find it. So just before we head off, we need to put some sun cream on. And I thought I'd try this snack. So I don't actually know what it is, but there's basically a free section in the hotel where you can just pick up snacks. I thought, you know what, let's try one out. I'm hoping it's not like melted everywhere. Well, it's melted a little bit, but it's actually okay. But it looks like a chocolate wafer, so this might actually taste pretty good. It's obviously falling apart a little bit, but that is very nice. I'm happy I picked that up, because I was a bit worried that it's going to be like spongy in the middle, but it's wafer. I'll give that a solid 8 out of 10 for sure. Tastes very good. So it's about a 10-minute walk now to the shopping centre. One thing I have noticed with Laos compared to Thailand is that there's a lot more litter around on the sides of the roads. I don't know why that is. And there's not many bins whenever you go to any of the night markets or anything either. So it is quite strange to see so much litter, but maybe when we get to Vietnam it might be the same, we'll have to see. We've had a good start here in the shopping centre, already bought 2 pairs of white socks, which is just what I needed. I was keep running out of socks, so I've got another 2 pairs, and they came to 36,000 kip, which is just over £1, £1.50, so happy with the first purchase. So we decided to go to the shopping centre, which was actually next to Vientiane centre, and we have stopped off here in Joma cafe because we needed some Wi-Fi so I can start uploading some of the YouTube videos. The Wi-Fi's are awful here, it's awful in Starbucks. I swear anywhere in Laos doesn't have good Wi-Fi, but that's fine because it's only for uploading the video, so I'm just going to have to leave it on overnight. But for food and drink, what we have got at first is the mango and passion fruit smoothie, which looks really tasty. It was 54,000 kip in the end. Let's give it a try. Nice and refreshing. It's nice to have something, to be fair, that's nice and fruity rather than having just rubbish all the time, so that's good. For food, I've got the New Yorker muffin, which is like egg, ham, cheese and other stuff. And then it looks like they've put some dragon fruit on the side here too. Let's give the dragon fruit a try first, see what this is like. That's nice too. It's not actually that flavoursome. It's got the same sort of texture as a kiwi, but it doesn't actually taste of really anything that. So that's a little bit disappointing, but can't do much about dragon fruit. And now we'll give this a try because this looks amazing. You can see the egg oozing out on the side. That was very nice. A little bit like the Egg McMuffin in McDonald's, but just fresher. Tastes really good. That came to 80,000. And then Beth's is the vegetarian pesto pasta with garlic bread. Again, it looks really tasty. I'll have to see what she thinks of it, and I'll let you know once we've left. And that all came to about £9, so not bad for all this, bearing in mind we're in a nice cafe. Finished the food, mine was absolutely delicious. I did give Beth a small try, but it's just a ridiculous amount of pesto. It tastes really sickly, and to be honest, not that amazing. But we're now going to head out, do a little bit more shopping to try and find some deodorant for us both, and then we'll be going over to the Lao National Museum. So just before leaving, we thought we'd make sure we go and get our breakfast for tomorrow. So Beth's got 2 bags of Frosties, and I have got a granola ball, which looks interesting, a black sesame and almonds. So hopefully that'll taste nice. Got no idea whether it will or not. And then funnily enough, they've actually got like Lynx and Shaw, is that yours? Shaw, which is like rebranded to Rexona and Axe. So I don't know whether that's the same brand, whether it's Lynx that have made these into a separate brand, or whether it's sort of like a little Aldi thing where they make brands which look very similar to the actual thing. But that's it now. That came to £8.83. It seems to be the hardest thing in the world to find some hand sanitizer though, so we still didn't manage to find that, and we are running low now, so we need to find that as soon as possible, and then hopefully we can get over to the museum before it shuts. So for about half an hour to 45 minutes now, I've been trying to get money out of an ATM, but none of the ATMs works either. They're out of service, or it keeps saying they doesn't accept the cards that we're trying to put in. So it's been a bit of a nightmare here. And it has been for all of Laos, to be honest, with the ATMs. There's so many service charges each time you take money out too. So it is a bit of a nightmare. Maybe that's something they need to sort out for tourists for sure. But Beth has now just popped off to the loo, and then hopefully we can finally get a taxi there, but we're going to have to use the app rather than pay with cash. And we've arrived at the National Museum of Laos. It looks like a really impressive building, and I'm looking forward to going in and finding out a little bit about the Vietnam War and all the other wars, and a bit about Laos, to be honest, because I don't really know anything about it. So let's head off inside and see if we can find anything. And we have finished, and I'm not going to lie, this has probably been one of the worst national museums I've ever been in. I don't think I've learned anything really. I've learned that they became independent in 1975. I've learned a little bit about the Golden Stupa and the main temple, and I think that's about it. I really was looking forward to it too, and I was really wanted to learn a bit more about the history. It was weird because all of the different things, basically, it would be like a basket or something, and it would just say basket used by so and so, and that was it, and what year it was from. And then apart from that, it didn't really tell us any more information. It was really strange. It also was the same with a few like workers' tools. It would say, oh, this is a knife that the farmer used, and that was about it really. I've just seen that they've actually got a leaflet for it too, and it's basically the same stuff. So it's just got pictures basically of like pottery, and it'll just say protection and construction of the nation, pottery baskets. And it's just, that's all it tells you, is that it's a basket. They need to add some more information on like what that basket was used for, when it was used, etc. So hopefully they can try and improve it for the future. It did cost us both 30,000 to get in each, so it's only like £1, but it's £1 probably wasted, to be honest. We just walked through, looked at a few of the different articles, and then walked out. There was like one or two big chunks of text which actually had a bit more information on, and they were okay, but apart from that it wasn't great. But we've just ordered another taxi, and hopefully that should come in just a couple of minutes. If you're wondering what app we're using the Loca app. It seems okay. In some places it says there's no drivers available, and that's it. So I'm not 100% sure how much you should trust it, but I suppose at least you've got guaranteed prices, whereas if you're walking around to try and find a tuk-tuk driver or a taxi driver, then you don't really know how much the price should be. So that's the main reason why we're using this app. And we are back at the hotel now. So the taxi actually went up in price from 104,000 to 117,000. So I think that was because of the traffic coming back. So we ended up paying about £4.20 for the taxi back to the hotel. So overall, I definitely say the Cope Visitor Centre is worth it. I thought it was quite interesting. They could make it a little bit better. They did have a cinema room, which we didn't try out. But if you do want to try that bit out, maybe they've got some interesting documentaries in there, so you can watch those. But then in terms of the Lao National Museum, I really feel that could be improved a lot. So they could definitely do lots more boards with information. I feel like all the information that was on there was almost like Google translated, and it didn't really make sense. It was really confusing. It didn't really tell us about any of the Vientiane province and stuff, which I now need to Google at home, whereas you'd think that the museums just kind of tell you that. So not too sure why it just wasn't that great in my opinion, but someone will have to let me know down in the comments whether you did enjoy it or not. But again, I've been really looking forward to this evening as we are going to the Tipsy Elephant rooftop bar. So that should have really cool views over Vientiane, hopefully, fingers crossed. And we had a good night last night, so I'm hoping that we should have a good night tonight. But in terms of the day activities, I've not been that impressed with Vientiane, and I've much preferred it in Luang Prabang. But we'll have to see in terms of night to night whether we actually have a good time or not. So let's get ready. Let's get my elephant shirt on, because we bought that elephant shirt the other day in Luang Prabang, and it's the perfect time to wear it to the Tipsy Elephant bar. So let's get ready. The elephant shirt is on, ready for the Tipsy Elephant. That is my outfit for the evening. So I'm looking forward to it because I've heard really good things about this bar. Hopefully we should get some good views, but before we go, we need to go get some more money out of the ATMs. Honestly, the ATM system is so frustrating. So we need to go get some out, and hopefully that should last us now until the rest of our time here in Laos. We've arrived at the Tipsy Elephant Sky Bar, level 10. So we're going up there to the top, hopefully, and it'll look pretty cool. The Tipsy Elephant, floor 10. Beth will show you the view right now, because it looks absolutely stunning, and the sunset is just happening there. in the background too. I have to say though, I've definitely seen better views of a city. All you're really seeing is just the backsides of houses. You can't really see any temples either, which I'm surprised about, because you can usually see loads of temples everywhere, but can't see any here. But we've just ordered a beer Lao and a Somersby cider. However, we are currently struggling as we've not got enough cash to actually pay for these because we couldn't take any money out of the ATM. So we're having issues with Starling, trying to message them, get it sorted, but at the moment still nothing has happened. So my advice to you, if you're coming to Laos, is to take out some US dollars from the UK or from wherever you're from, because you can't actually take out kip from any of the other places. You can only get kip while you're here, but if you take out dollars, they do seem to accept that in most places here. So definitely bring out as much US dollars as you can for your trip whilst you are here. But these cost 59,000 kip and 69,000 kip, other way around, 69,000 kip and 59,000 kip. So it's actually the first time that the beer Lao has been more expensive than the cider, but I have got a pint, and it was a draft pint too, which is quite nice. Most of it's been bottled. So let's give it a try and see what we think. That is one good but expensive beer Lao. We've decided to treat ourselves for the night because we basically can't get any money out, so we have to spend at least 300,000 to then be able to use our card. So we're gonna have to spend 300,000, buy a nice meal, get a couple of drinks, and to be fair, we've not done that yet, where we've just not looked at the prices, and it will only be about £20 maximum. So again, we're doing pretty well. We're saving lots of money anyway on all the other days. So I think we're gonna get some fish and chips, and I'm not sure what Beth's gonna get yet, but we'll have a look at the menu in a minute. The sun has gone down now, and I don't know whether you're going to be able to hear the music through the mic. Hopefully not, otherwise we're going to have to copyright it out. But I've ordered the IPA, because I definitely prefer the IPA over the usual beer from Beer Lao. And Beth, being a boring self, has gone for the same apple cider from Somersby. But to be fair, I love the Somersby apple cider, it's one of the best. But let's give it a try again. Definitely a good one. You've got to try the Beer Lao IPA. Cheers. Beth's appetizers have arrived. She's ordered some bruschetta and some edamame beans. We've made the mistake of basically ordering it all together without saying bring it all together, so I've got a feeling my fish and chips will come after Beth's appetizers, but that's all fine because I get to try some of this anyway because it's for the vlog. So trying the bruschetta first. This is 99,000, so a lot more expensive than you get in the market. Very nice though. Good amount of balsamic vinegar too, because I love balsamic vinegar, so that's a good taste. Now we'll try one of the edamame beans. They just look a bit plain, but edamame beans are nice. I've definitely had nicer though, because I like it when they sort of cover it in the pink salt, whereas it's not as salty as I quite like it, but they're okay. I'm gonna now wait for my fish and chips, and hopefully it'll be as good as a UK fish and chips. So it looks like I was wrong. The fish and chips have arrived. 159,000 kip, so probably the most expensive meal which we have bought yet, but I think it's because of the restaurant, not because of the fact it's fish and chips. But let's give it a try now, starting off with a chip. Are they as good as the Great British chip? Chips taste nice. Can't really go wrong with a chip, to be honest. If it didn't taste nice, then there probably would be an issue. But now we're going to put a bit of lemon on the fish to begin with. And I think this white sauce might be tartar sauce. At first I thought it was mayo, but I think it might be tartar sauce. So we're going to have a bit of fish with the tartar sauce, as you do in the UK. Oh, it's not as high as I thought, the sauce. That is one good fish and chips. Just got the bill back now, and it's 573,000, which is just over £21. So in the end, it wasn't that bad, to be honest. For a meal in the UK, you'd probably be paying very similar, but you get a lovely surroundings. Just had 2 drinks each too, and really tasty food. Beth said that hers could have been better. The bruschetta had too much balsamic vinegar for her, but I love balsamic vinegar, so I wouldn't have complained about that. And then the edamame beans were a little bit cold when they came out, and they weren't salted quite enough. But apart from that, we've had a really lovely night, great views, and I definitely recommend coming to the Elephant Bar. It gets a lot quieter as the night goes on, but it's got great music and great views of the sunset if you want to come up then, but do make sure to book. hotel now, and we dropped off on the way home to another big C where we bought a milk, so just one of these little milks, and 4 of these sort of banana buns, which we'll give a try in a second. I've already taken one out. But overall, as a summary for the day, I'd definitely recommend going to the Kopi Visitor Centre. I thought that was really good, interesting, especially learning about all the amputees and the unexploded ordnance that is still here in Laos. Then secondly, went to the Lao National Museum. I probably wouldn't recommend that if you don't really care too much about seeing artifacts and not learning too much about the artifacts themselves, then I wouldn't bother going there. But if you want to, it's only 30,000 each, so it's not too expensive. The shopping centre where we got lunch, that was nice. Definitely would go to there. They had good food, and you actually had internet there too, which was ideal. And then finally this evening, going to the Tipsy Elephant. We actually had a really good time, enjoyed it. Beth said the food wasn't great in her opinion, but what I had was tasty. So maybe the main meals are nice, but the appetizers aren't quite so good. But let's try one of these muffins. I believe it's a banana muffin, so it should taste a little bit banana-y, which is good because I love a bit of banana. Let's give it a try. It's alright, it's not as moist as I'd like it to be, it's a little bit dry. But tomorrow I'm going to be having my first day off of the vlog, so I'm just going to have a chill day, get a bit of video editing done, just stay in the hotel, rest the legs too, because it's quite tiring doing all of this stuff, so it's quite nice to just have one rest day every so often. So I hope you did all enjoy this vlog, and if you did, do make sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you are new, as it goes a long way to supporting this channel, and I'll have plenty of vlogs out soon. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.